Do you think that maybe that it could have been me saying that too fast? The screenshot doesn't show any timestamps, and that Discord account of mine has been deleted due to harassment, so we can't even verify it in today's world due to the fact that it's been deleted. Yeah, Discord recently did update itself, that way it does show the timestamps for all conversations. In 2021, this did not exist. So we will never know the truth about the time. Not that it matters. But good to know that everyone on John's team hated me. No, I will hate them forever. Maybe if they told me this could have been solved. And the solution to all of our problems is pretty simple. Talk things out. That is all that had to be done. I'm repeating this because it is the correct answer. And you should always repeat what the correct answer is, especially when people don't get it. Let me guess. If I were saying that I was going to commit suicide, you would laugh at me. No, be mad/ignorant at me and saying that I was lying or making a joke. Why didn't I address this last time and felt like I went along with it? Because I was too depressed to really look at the evidence and to get my words in edgewise. Last time, my channel was losing subs, and all my videos would be mass disliked, as well as me having to constantly block channels for their spam. I wasn't really in a place where I could say that what Enter's team said about me was a lie, or that not everything was true. Once again, here is the Google Doc/screenshot explaining my side and defense, where Hope accepted my apology and how we moved on from it, and how she had no problem with it for 9 months, and how we had normal conversations like normal people all the way up to May. In fact, it wasn't until Sarah returned where she had a problem with me, so I don't know if Sarah told her something behind the scenes. But Hope was crying in the Regarding Star Drive Productions video! You do know that people fake cry all the time in courts to have audiences sympathize with their side to get what they want in the very end. With this statement, you probably already assumed that you'd think that I was implying that Hope was fake crying. But if you look through my actual words, I didn't state that once. Your brains just implied that I did when that never happened. Also, after this discussion in September 2020, Hope never had any suicidal thoughts. Could it have been worded better? Sure. But when you help with someone trying to prevent them from committing suicide 20 times, it gets tiring. Especially when they don't go to therapy. Yes, in-person still existed during the pandemic. And this was in September, meaning that more things, and even afterwards, I apologized and Hope accepted my apology and we had normal conversations afterwards. And we were fine for 9 months. So either Hope lied in September 2020 or she lied in June 2021. Because that accusation is what got me fired. She could have lied both times, or me playing devil's advocate, she could have been misinterpreting things. Maybe she could have lied without realizing it. I don't know. I don't have the correct answer in this situation. Hope, by the way, told me 24 hours after we settled things that she talked to a suicide hotline. Whether she told the truth there or not, this is what she told me. I mean, this one time me outbursting saying this shit by accident makes me a terrible person. It's not like I helped Hope stop her suicide 20 times prior through therapeutic discussions for free, except I did. Also, it was a one-time outburst. You don't know the context of the situation. You don't know how I was feeling that day, unless you're telling me one outburst is all it takes for a human to be bad. Oh boy, that get out of my car sketch! I bet you think the driver is the bad one. And yes, I repeat in my defense. Sometimes you need to repeat yourself to get a point across. But as we all know, we live in a utopian society. If you outburst even once, you're an outcast for life. If this one outburst is all that it took for John to make a video on me, imagine all the shit that he did. Yeah, I'm fucking tired of John's video on me specifically, while the videos where he fucked up have much less views. Over 200k for John's video on me, while his pandemic video that first got him in trouble is still only in the 5 digits for views. His video on me is in the 6 digits, while most of his fuck-ups from this decade are only in the 5 digits. Why does my response on John not even have 5% of the views that John has? In a fair world, they should have equal views. I mean, when you guys want me to talk about regarding John, talk about how his OC appears in shows like We Bare Bears and Amphibia or the Hey Arnold movie. There were things that I didn't talk about in my original Enter response, like Casey.
So Casey was a troll who falsely claimed that Hope, the person that Rebecca financially and emotionally abused, doxed him, which caused her a great deal of emotional turmoil, before they themselves had finally admitted that it was all made up. Also, this pedo statement is referring not to Crimson, but to Casey, because he has an open crush on Casey from Pokemon, a 10-year-old girl.
At first, I thought people meant Casey Alexander.
Number 4, Uncle Grandpa, any episode. No, this has literally nothing to do with its showrunner, Casey Alexander. My refusal to review an episode from Uncle Grandpa is solely on the show itself.
But it was really this Pokemon lover. I never denied that I didn't have a conversation with him. but I did have no memory of him at all, which is why I didn't talk about him originally, and why I still have nothing to say on the matter, because I don't have any memory or interest at all. I will give credit to myself, at least I was punching up. Going after people higher than you is definitely better than going after those that are lower. I wouldn't go after someone that only has 5 subscribers, though at the same time, I remember this line from Alex Rochon that stuck with me.
You can debate the merits of punching up versus punching down when faced with perceived prejudice, but frankly, I'd rather not punch anybody if I can avoid it. Everyone has their own individual struggles, and no one person in a group is dealt the same hand.
Oh yeah, finances. So let's talk about Grace. Yes, Grace used to work for me. She was one of the 3 people to ever complain about my editing prices. Here is a pie chart of the percentage of editors being fine with me, versus those that hated me. Charts don't lie. More editors that have worked for me love what I did, while less hated me. I still love my editing, for the record. I gave Grace a $300 refund. I wonder why that was never brought up on regarding Star Giant Productions. Oh wait, I know why. You want me to lack empathy and make me look cheaper than Mr. Krabs. You don't need to state anything good that I did to help your side look better. Yes, people in court cases unfortunately do this as well. Also, despite me being on John's server, I didn't join the Grow Around discussions.
And so she thought one artist can get the animatic done by the 18th, starting on the 13th of July. You might not be too into the animation world, so you might not know how insane of a request that actually was. It would take a professional team about 2 weeks to do what Rebecca wanted a hobbyist to do in 5 days' time, when pay was never even mentioned. When I finally figured out what happened here, this was a major factor in her firing.
So no, I had no knowledge on how long it took to make an animatic, despite me only wanting a couple of pencil drawings in the end. But, oh yeah, I should memorize everything! Good to know that every person's autism on the planet operates exactly 100% the same! Let's talk about Growing Around. What even is it? Even as someone that was in the private server where it was created, I don't even know what it is. You can't buy its book anymore, nor can you view the stories since they have been privated. And I do have empathy. I remember crying for over an hour hearing the story about real children being told that they have a rare physical case where they will have to become blind in 5 years. In the first 2 years, they couldn't do anything because of Canada's COVID lockdowns. I cried because of the fact that these children are going to be blind forever, and they had to spend their first 2 years of this knowledge in the same country when they wanted to explore the world. My parents gave me fears of the pandemic, so if you're wondering, I never hated Enter for his COVID opinions, oddly enough. In fact, my mom encouraged me to not wear a mask much more than Enter did. My dad was on the other end telling me to wear a mask. I don't get people like Karens that can't wear a fucking mask for 5 minutes at Walmart or shopping. Try wearing a mask for 12 hours a day straight. Okay, not straight as breaks existed, but otherwise, more or less 12 hours straight. That was me.
I was perfectly fine not telling anyone about any of this. I didn't even tell anyone that you got fired until you started talking.
So you didn't care about telling people that I was fired. I think that would have made some people confused.
I'm sure now I'm somewhere along the lines of Lily Orchard Tour, and I can't wait to start seeing 4 or 5, no seriously, this is the last one, 6, 7 Mr. Enter is garbage and this is why videos.
Oh, this stupid claim! Considering that I like Lily Orchard now and think that her videos are getting better, that should be a positive, John.
Thoughts on Lily Orchard? I don't think she likes me very much, so, let's say the feeling is mutual.
Fair point, John. I can buy that. Though, let's talk about why I made 5 Lily Orchard videos. I did the first one because I had some opinions on her that no one ever did prior to me, as I wanted to talk about her content as a whole, and especially her recent Steven Universe's Garbage in His Wife video at the time. Originally meant for Halloween, but delayed due to me editing half of the top 10 worst cartoons of the 1980s list for John. I made a second one a year later because a lot of people requested me to redo the original with better points and better audio. I deleted this one because I didn't like it. I did the third one 5 months later because Lily Orchard made her final MLP video and I had thoughts on it, Plus, I needed the money, and I knew that this was an easy gain. The fourth one was actually slightly positive, as it was a top 10 best, worst, and blandest Louis Orchard videos. But the person that was gonna do with me broke up with me. This was gonna be the first of many videos where I do commentaries on various controversial YouTube channels. Because I thought about it more and hated the concept, the idea was canceled altogether. But since I still needed a Christmas video, I got Dashy to join me instead. And because I had fun collaborating with her, I wanted to do a whole series with her. And I heard of Mystery Science Theater 3000. People have done parodies of it in the past, but no one ever did it for Pixar, so that's when I invented Pixar Path. And the 5th Louis Orchard video was an April Fool's Day prank, and that was only a 5-second video. And yes, I do plan on a finale at the end of this year, but it won't even be a half hour long. I have a special reason.
Rebecca, Star Giant Productions, whatever name she goes by, is a toxic person. She's a bad employee, and she's an even worse boss. You hurt the people that I care about, and that's not something that I can forgive, Rebecca.
I am not toxic or abusive. I have never been toxic or abusive, and I never will be toxic or abusive. I am not a bad boss. I am a great boss. I will stand by these statements forever. Also, your own friends, John, did forgive me, so make it that what you will. So, consistent that you hurt my friends, John, I cannot forgive you, ever. Star Giant, whatever? I thought you said dead naming or not caring to correct yourself on names is bad.
He feels miserable because someone else is out there.
Are you implying that you haven't made good videos after you fired me? Because you did. I enjoy videos like the Al Jimmy's Head Atrocity.
On the Cartoon fucking Network!
The SpongeBob Enters Corner, which ironically came out 3 days before the Turn Red video. Total Drama Review, Quandary Break, and a bit on popular opinions. That's at least 5 positive videos there. Now it's your turn, John. Name 5 positive videos that you love from me that I made in 2022.
I wish you good luck in the future, Rebecca, because I have a feeling that when everything comes tumbling down, you will have nothing else.
Funny how you say that, since after this video, I had gained 3,000 subscribers and 3 best friends, plus 6 supports for me in my finances, while you lost over 10,000 subs. I got more subs than you in 2022. You want to know why I'm miserable? Because I made the exact same mistake as Marcy Wu from Amphibia.
I just need to...
Now look what you've made me do.
I made the exact same mistake. I put too much trust in someone that I cared for. That's why I'm miserable. And this has been happening my whole life, but we'll get to that later. Ironically enough, Enter made a growing around story of not trusting your idols. One last thing to close this up. It's not like I didn't have casual conversations with John. I could talk about animation as a whole, or DM questions for the videos, and he can be funny at times. Even explain the meaning of Brad to me, because in the Teenage Robot review, I did not know that Brad was a cursed name. So that's all that I got to say on John's video about me. But believe it or not, all of that was not why I decided to make this video. If you notice, the video that John has on me has over 200,000 views, while mine doesn't even have 20,000. In fact, mine only has a little more than 5% of what John has, meaning that not everyone can see both sides, implying that a lot of people commented on John's video, way more than mine. And we're gonna go through some of them. Not all of them, as that would be ludicrous. Addressing things like DC superhero girls aren't bad aren't necessary here, but the big popular ones that did strike a chord with me, those we will do. We're gonna be censoring out their names, as I want to keep them private and protect their innocence. These are all from John's video on me, their comment section. Alright, let's go. This comment has aged like milk. Like, how? No, seriously, please elaborate when you have a controversial opinion like this. It's very worrisome when some random on the internet that you never heard of calls you your friend. And yes, I've had several people do that to me. Rebecca doesn't treat the people she hires. I don't treat the people that I hire what? Good? Bad? If you're being serious, you need to be grammatically correct. Apparently there were a lot of comments of people saying that they haven't watched Mr. Enter in a long time, yet somehow the algorithm brought them back to this. Even though the most viewed video from John in 2021 was his top 10 worst SpongeBob episodes list, and even in 2022, 2 videos had more views than John's response about me, those being the Little Ellen anime atrocity and the Turn Red video. I would see what was wrong and fix it. People have said that I failed to look inward, but I couldn't when I had no one to talk to and all my sources were blocked off, so I couldn't view any evidence or conversations.
I don't know, because it was 6 months ago. In a public place. A place that gets a lot of traffic and activity.
So John forgetting a conversation from 6 months ago that he has access to is fine, but me forgetting a conversation from an even longer time period, being 9 months that I have no access to, is unacceptable. Okay then. People are haters because they hate something that she likes. I say right at the beginning of my Ralph Breaks the Internet video that it's okay to hate Ralph Breaks the Internet. Do these people not think before they speak? And I put tons of effort into my videos. The editing is not that important. The writing is. Well, actually, the editing is extremely important. It really is. But the writing is more important. I don't put that much effort into editing all the time because it is 100% unnecessary in the grand scheme of things. Your writing will always be more important than your editing. Plain and simple. Although yes, you should still try to put effort into your editing. Some people got mad at me for not being serious in my original response, and I guess it's because the opening with Dashy singing that I'm Mary Poppins y'all song.
Toppins, 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 a bag.
Which I guess makes sense, but it's not a sketch. Also, Ask Air fucked up in this department when he put a semi-SpongeBob sketch or ad. I could go on. I really could. But what's the point? I had a hissy fit. No, I had legit criticism. Oh, this is just sad. Speaking of sad, you want to see something sad? Even the wiki on me hates me. Yeah, apparently I have a wiki page on Mr. Enter's wiki. It's nothing but negative talk. Apparently wikis are easy to edit. So when I came across this, I think in May of last year, and it was filled with misinformation, like the site using my dead name, I edited it. Here is the edited version. Now this one is more correct, but then they changed it back. In mid-June of 2022, they locked it so that you can't edit the site anymore. I am an animator, but apparently it's not allowed. If you wish to see the correct version, I uploaded a description on my website. I don't blame people for not knowing a lot about me and thinking that I'm a terrible person, because that is what gets the views. Drama. Drama is extremely pointless. I said it before and I'll say it again. It's called pointless drama. What people don't get is that I do other kinds of videos on my channel, but they just don't get the views. Whenever I do a video on trains, for example, not as many people are interested. Heck, there were actual human beings that thought that I disappeared altogether after the Mr. Enter video on me. Like, I never posted videos until right now, in 2023. You want to hear pointless drama that pisses me off? When people say that I'm better than another person. Yes, this quote-unquote narcissist is mad when you say that I'm better than someone else. When you watch my videos, I rather you talk about the video itself, or just what I have to say on said product. Not some other rando that has nothing to do with this video, and it's not just trolls doing this, even my friends have made these mistakes. Speaking of websites, it's not just YouTube that hates me. Here's a Tumblr post on Louis Orchard's Tumblr talking about how shitty of a person I am 10 months after Enter's video on me. Okay then, and it's filled with lies/inaccuracies, and of course, no way for me to defend myself in this situation. It's not just random comments on various websites that get to me. People have made entire websites documenting what I do. The most infamous one is Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms was, as in they're not really around anymore. The site's technically still up, but let's be honest, they're not there anymore. They're a far-right leaning website dedicated to going after random autistic people on the internet that they have random beef with. Usually with people that talk about cartoons that claim that these people are too old to be talking about animation. The website has driven 3 innocent people to suicide. One at least was transgender, so this site has no leg to stand on and they're viewed as a joke.
He has editors of varying quality. To be blunt, Star Giant should not be paid for the work they put out for Enter. It's so surface level that I was doing better back in the days when the only thing I could use to edit was my phone. Not only does his editor reuse the same clip over and over in a bad quality with multiple watermarks all over it, text used to show whatever song is playing is large, in the middle of the screen, has no good transition such as a fade in or tween, is in basic Arial font, and has no outline to make the text pop out, and therefore is hard to read on the multicolored changing scene. Not only is the sound effect a little too loud, but also it's very slow in the beginning, and it doesn't even look like the image gets smaller as it goes up the mountain, which I think is what they're trying to convey. Disregarding the badly cut out silhouette that somehow changes size and shape over the course of a single shot, there is an image that isn't even HD being used. How do you not notice such a big error there?
Star Wars.
Blame the Walt Disney Corporation for that one.
Not only is it off timing in the second clip, the two images aren't HD and come up a half second or so apart, which is very noticeable and shouldn't have gotten into the final cut. This scene to show what it looks like for a competent editor to put this together. They show only the most basic knowledge at best of editing whatsoever, and more often than not, make Inter's videos look as bad or worse than he did back when Windows Movie Maker was in the mix, something I can tell Stargiant does not use by the editing that they can do. Mentioning Inter's editor for one last time, I don't exactly know who did this, but they straight up stole footage from Alpha J in the Harvey Beaks video. This one, to be exact. I'm just kinda dumbfounded they wouldn't have the foresight or ability to crop a video properly. Dear God. I get you've had Stargiant for a while, and they've probably been reliable in getting work out, but either have them take a class in the editing software they're using, have them try and upgrade for a better software and then learn that, not even great, just better than now if that's really all they can do, or have the editor fired.
Well, be careful what you wish for, I guess, because I did get fired.